Hey yo, what's shaking, Merc fam? Thank you for tuning in to another review. I know what you're thinking. It's been a while since you've seen your boy Merc pop up on your timeline. I've officially completed my first semester of college and I'm so stoked about it, guys. That's why I've had to take a little break with the reviews. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I was doing the 31 days of Halloween challenge, but I actually had to cut it short midpoint. And the reason for that is quite simple. I really needed to readjust my focus from videos and YouTube content to really studying and putting forth a really good effort in my education. But with all that being said, I want to welcome you all back. I'm sure you're happy to see another review. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing Ghostbusters Afterlife. But before we get into this video, I want to make sure that everybody likes, subscribes. You go ahead, tap that notification one time for your boy. I just want to make sure that when I post my videos or when I come back from my hiatuses, you guys are fully aware. Now, let's go ahead and ectoplasm all over this review. Now, Ghostbusters Afterlife. It was prolonged for about 2 years now. It was supposed to come out, I think, pre-pandemic or around the same time that the pandemic started, but we finally got a release date. I want to say it was last month or a couple weeks ago, and this is what we got. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. There was 100% fan service throughout this entire movie. I loved everything from the different type of ghosts to the flashbacks of the 1980s Ghostbusters Manhattan debacle. This movie goes directly in line to the other Ghostbuster movies, and I really enjoyed seeing my whole crew, the whole team on the screen. Now, I don't want to spoil too much for you. They actually show you a little bit of this in the trailer, so nothing that I'm saying is going to come to a surprise for you. I'm going to keep this as spoiler-free of a review as possible. I mean, there's nothing too exciting about the movie to reveal. We've got ghosts, we've got Ghostbusters. We learned in the trailer that this family is in direct relation to one of the Ghostbusters. So throughout the movie, we pretty much have an idea of who it is, just based on how the kid looks and who she's kind of stepping in for, if you want to say. But I really had a good time with the movie, finding out what's going on. They really did a good Scooby-Doo in the gang type of mystery solving for the most part. You really had to rely on their intuition and what they knew in this movie. Now, with that being said, I do want to say that this film really was a little boring, okay? I don't want to lie to you. It was very coincidentally written, which means like everything that happened in the movie just laid out perfectly. There really wasn't any fear or any hardships throughout the film. It was kind of like a Disney vibe in a movie. There just wasn't any fear. I wasn't afraid that anyone was gonna die or fall off of anything because it just wasn't about that. Another thing that rubbed me the wrong way was one of the characters. His name is Podcast, and he does podcasts. Cool little jit. But the problem with him for me was every and any time in this movie, when there was a problem, when there was an issue, when something was unknown, this kid just knew the answers every single time. And it got really annoying. You know, none of these kids know how to really use an ectoplasm gun or a ghost catcher or drive or anything like that. But when they are put behind the front seat of any of these experiences, they just completely excelled. Now, my son really enjoyed this movie, and so did I for the most part, but I really don't like when a character in the movie blatantly explains what's going on, where things are, why things are the way they are. He's just a little kid. How does he know every single thing about this town? You know, it's not like it was some elder or some older gentleman or older woman who was explaining what happened in this town. It's literally like an 11-year-old boy. Now, on top of all of the CGI, one thing that I really enjoyed was the way they brought back those beasts from the first Ghostbuster movies. They could have done it completely CGI, but I really enjoyed the fact that they brought back these puppet animatronic-like demon dogs back from the first movie. I always tell people movies like Alien, Predator, Jurassic Park, where they had to build these actual monsters or creatures, gives the movie a whole different type of vibe other than CGI, because you know that these characters are really interacting with something. They're really looking at someone in a suit, in a costume, or this big animatronic robot. But in these CGI movies, movies, I always imagine these guys staring off into a green or blue screen in the distance, pretending there's something there. For the most part, I really had a good time with the movie, the journey that they took to find out what's what in this little small town in the middle of nowhere, and why the Ghostbusters were needed. I have this theory that the entire film was written around Harold's character, Igor, the one that in real life has passed away. I feel they wrote this movie around him just to give us that fan service of seeing the Ghostbusters finally together again after all of these years. I really enjoyed a lot of these parts in the movie. At the end of the day, I'm gonna give Ghostbusters Afterlife a 6 out of 10. I enjoyed mostly all of it, but there were a lot of things that I wish could have been a little more exciting about the movie. They've been prolonging it for so long. I had very high expectations, and that might be affecting my rating scale. But what did you guys think of this review? Did you hate it? Did you like it? Did you love it? Only way that I'm gonna know is if you jump in my comments. We have a full-on discussion and we talk about Ghostbusters Afterlife, man. But you already know what it is. It's your boy Merc. I'm gonna be hanging around a little more, I promise you, man. I'm off my little hiatus. At least I'm gonna go back to dropping 2 videos a week. I swear to God, man. But you already know what it is. It's your boy Merc. It's been a pleasure. But I'm out.
But we know that you acting with all of this heat, melt you up like you plastic. Niggas will switch up on you in a moment. Like a stack of hundreds, I'm never folding. Heard they changed on me, I never noticed. Hit her and her friends, once that's a bonus. At the top, but I came from the lowest. Married to the money, yeah, I'm devoted.